Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are again present in sociology course, and we were actually discussing the deviance and social control, and we had discussed the importance of deviance and different dimensions of deviance in first phase of this lecture. Today we are discussing the second phase of this chapter and particular topic, which is social control and its origin. We are going to discuss in this lecture an overview about the concept of social control, and then we will discuss the forms of social control. What are those forms and how these forms are actually playing their part to control the individual. Let's have a look on the social control. What is actually social control and how social control is playing its part to control the behavior of individual, and how can we use this behavior in the development of the state and society, because society is the composition of individual, as we had discussed so many times in this discipline. We are actually convinced on a specific agenda, which is that people who are associated with a specific society are acquiring some values, tradition, norms, and folkways and moods, and then definitely they are also part of religion, institutions, and all these internal and external factors are actually trying to mold the attitude of individual. These factors can boost the attitude of individual, and that they can also play their part when they are in negative phase or in the negative shape. Then definitely they will discourage the individual, and individual won't be able to contribute in a positive way. So social control, being an important element of the society or the concept of sociology, we can say that social control is actually running parallel the concept of deviance. And the connection between social control and deviance is similar, the connection of the evil and the connection of the virtuous path. If we are considering the negative impact of the deviance, then definitely we can understand in a perfect way the concept of social control, because social control is a source of creating harmony, stability, and convincing the individual to together on a specific agenda. So social control can bring the individual toward the positivity. That is a particular methodology which can be implemented under a regulatory body, so that they can utilize the work, utilize the capabilities and intellect level of individual in the positive approach of the society. So it is possibility that if we are not able to measure the attitude of the individual, and if we are not actually paying attention towards the activities of the individual, then definitely we won't be able to understand what individual want, what individual is contributing, and what is he is doing when he is an active agent of the society. So we can on the other hand, we can say that social control is actually the element which is not only the measuring element, but it is providing the source of or the platform regarding the accountability of individual. So individual who is accepting different inspiration, being the part of the society, who is accepting the influences, and who is accepting or trying to adopt different methodologies, so that he can spend the life according to the constitution or code of conduct of the state, then definitely we must focus upon the mental, physical, and personality grooming of the individual. And we must establish those policies which are related to the mental, physical, and personality growth of the individual. So by creating balance in these elements, and by creating the linkage between these elements, we can be able to control the individual's behavior, so that we can utilize his hard work, his services in a positive mode. Then social control is actually also providing platform to the people of the state, that their contribution in the society is the only way to change the narrative of the society. Because whenever we are implementing a specific statement which is related to their contribution, which is related to their involvement in the society, which is related to the development of their intellect level, then definitely we would be able to achieve the targeted goals. But for before going to this concept, before discussing this concept, then we must initially focus upon that whether we as a state element, we as a state institution are fulfilling the basic needs of individuals or not. If we are providing them opportunity to flourish their mental capability, to nourish their mind, to nourish their abilities, to nourish their approach towards the existence of society, then definitely we are actually giving importance to them, we are actually facilitating them. But individual who is not being provided and the specific facilities in this regard, then definitely individual will not accept that the state is an institution who is responsible for food, shelter, security, safety, and also providing the fundamental rights to the individual. Then definitely individual will not pay attention to the activities of the society. So social control being an active element of the society, or as an active institution or platform of the society, is the only way to tackle the mental capabilities of individual, so that the individual, by using this platform and considering this platform, accepting this platform, because somehow we had observed that individuals sometimes consider the policies of the state as a burden on his personality on, and when he is accepting this thing, or when he is admiring this fact, then definitely he is not actually paying heed to the existence of state. He is not actually admiring the existence of state, admiring the institutions of state. Then definitely individual won't be able to contribute in a positive manner. So by using this platform, by adopting this methodology, we can say that social control is a check and balance on the individual personality, on the emotions of individual, on the sentiments of individual, and he is actually playing and that particular platform is actually contributing in the development of the individual, so that we can enjoy the services of individual in the development structure. Then coming towards an important fact in this regard, that is the theory of social control. Theory of social control is actually related to the social bonding of the individual, and the purpose of this theory is to create the balance between the balance in the individual's mental capabilities, individual's nourishment of mind, individual's attachment with other community members. Actually, in a single statement, we can say that theory of social control is actually a process of socialization for the whole community. So that theory was actually presented by Travis in 1969, and it considered and it gave importance to the social bond in the society. He actually described that there are four elements which may play an important role in the social bonding. And what are those elements which considered as an important factor in the social bonding? And the first element is attachment. People who are associated with the state, and they are when they are playing an active role in the society's issues and society's as society's laws and a code of conduct, then definitely they are organizing themselves according to the patterns of the society, according to the methodology of the society. And that can only happen when you are promoting the concept of socialization. Why? Because on the other hand, when you are not promoting this factor, then definitely individuals will be consider themselves as isolatory one, and due to isolation, individuals won't be able to participate in actively in the society's activities, tasks, and different deeds and actions. Then after a passage of time, they will become the victim of different diseases. So attachment being the important element of the society can provide the opportunity to the individuals of the state to organize themselves. Then coming toward the commitment. Commitment is actually a platform which provide individual a method to organize a destination, then work for the for that particular destination. Actually, it is setting a goal, and you are planning to achieve those goals, to acquire those goals, and you are also idealizing some community members, and you are considering them an important one. And when you are considering them, or you are admiring their influence, then definitely you are convincing yourself, or creating flexibility in your personality traits, so that you can follow those footsteps to achieve that particular destination. But commitment also explain another important factor is, or another important element, that through commitment you are actually creating the sense of responsibility in your personality trait, and you are improving your responsibility level in the performance of different actions and tasks and needs, so that you can improve your personality and contribute in the society's development in a better way. Then involvement is, when you are saying that what is the difference between involvement and attachment is in the context of socialization. Attachment is only in the context of when you are mixing with the community members, and you are accepting their traditions, their living style, culture, standards, and you are providing them opportunity to learn your thoughts, ideas, and narratives. But when you are coming towards the element of involvement, then definitely you are busy, and you are in practice mode, and you are actually adopting this fact into your day-to-day activities, and you are trying to understand the field work of the other community members, so that you can understand another important fact of the society. So when you are considering these three elements, then definitely you are trying to bond, or trying to connect with the society, or trying to connect with the other community members. So that is the particular objective of the theory of the social control. But the fourth element in this regard is also very important. Why? Because it is the starting point to connect yourself with any specific idea or specific narrative or doctrine. When you are considering this, you are saying that I am actually following the belief system. What is the concept of belief system? When you are discussing this religiously, when you are admiring this concept according to the doctrine of Islam, then you are admiring this fact that belief is a value system, belief is a code of conduct, belief is a theory, belief is a hypothesis, and you are connecting yourself with that particular hypothesis. And then you are in second phase, you are trying to accept this, admire this, adopt this, implement this, and in practice you are following those footsteps. And after a passage of time, when you adopt the Islamic identity, then definitely you are indulging yourself with the practice base. So belief is a value system, and when you are part of value system, then you are also admiring the existence of state, you are admiring the authority of the state, and you will definitely achieve a specific target and goal and destination. So when these elements are not followed, then we can say that individual will be involved in criminal activities, because attachment, commitment, involvement, and belief is a platform through which individual can connect with himself with the society norms and values, structure, and rules and regulation. And he is also actually connecting himself with the other community members. So there is another context in the theory of social control, which is an important factor which is actually involved, and that is the deviance factor. Deviance factor is actually generating two different dimensions. The first one is that why should and everyone is motivated to break the law? Then deviance is the result of society involvement. So there are two different elements. The first one is actually showing that why law and order and code of conduct is important in the context of society, why that element is providing an opportunity to the individual to learn in a better shape. So if we want to explain this concept, we must understand the evolutionary process of the state, because state as an institution was started or initiated from the life of forest. So when we observe this element, then we will be able to understand that when the people started living in the forest, they were not actually following a code of conduct. So when they were not following the code of conduct, then there was might of right concept, and people were living in a scattered form, and they were in attacking mode, and they were actually focusing upon the resources, food and shelter. That was the major element for them, that was the major necessity for them. And those who are considering others as a weak, they wage war on them, and they snatch the rights, and they snatch the food and shelter facility from them. So when we are considering this thing, that everyone is motivated to break the law, then we are actually we are agreed upon a single agenda, that law is not compulsory for the state, and law cannot provide the smooth code of conduct to the state. So when we admire this thing, then definitely after a passage of time, the individual and society will both face the destruction, both will be threat to their existence. So law is actually the life, and life is providing them a smooth manner to spend their day-to-day activities. Then coming towards the another the second mode, that is the deviance is the result of the society involvement. That is actually showing that when you are demotivating any individual, or you are discouraging any person when he or she is not getting good marks, when he or she is not attaining or acquiring some goal, then you are actually pressurizing them, and you are insulting them in front of the whole community, and you are insulting them, the family member. So that is the mode which is leading them towards the deviance mode. They were to launch a revolt movement against your family, against your structure, state, society, class, institution, organization. So we can create balance by following the concept of social control. That is why the theory of social control actually depend upon previous four elements. And the first one is involvement, as I had discussed, attachment, belief system. So when you are creating the concept of bonding between the community members, then definitely you are trying to eliminate the concept of not following the law and order. You are also trying to eliminate the deviance factor. Then coming towards the forms of social control, and that is direct social control. When you are discussing this concept, what is the meant by direct social control, then you are focusing upon that particular idea, that there are some institutions present in your surroundings, and they are directly involved to control your attitude, to control your mood, to control your actions and deeds and attachments. And you in any part of the society where you are living, you are accepting their pressure indirectly. When you are far away from your home, and your parents are not living with you, and you are staying in a hostel or any boarding facility, then you will prevent yourself from illegal activities by accepting two or three different pressures. The first one is will be informed about my activity, then definitely the respect and dignity of my parents in front of neighborhood will be challenged, or will be facing any sort of threat. So family and neighborhood is the mode of direct social control. But on the other hand, playgroups are also providing opportunity to involve in your personality. Why? Because playgroup is a platform where you are interacting with your friends, community members, and those personalities with whom you are feeling comfortable zone. And whenever you are admiring those pressures, then definitely you are accepting their control on your life. Why? Because you are considering them as a source of inspiration, and you are considering them that they can provide you a better opportunity to nourish your mental capability. So that is the form of social control when direct social control is involved in your life. Then coming toward the indirect social control, there are secondary groups which who are playing up their role to indirectly control over the individual tradition and over the individual mind, attitude, his actions, deeds, performances. And these are actually customs, traditions, norms, values, and there are some facts on the rational basis that you are considering something which is illegal and you are considering something bad to your health, injuries to your health. And when you are accepting indirect social control, then definitely we can say that that particular person is not involving himself into illegal activities, because that particular individual is giving preference or giving importance to the tradition. And we can also say that why that person is not involving himself in any illegal activity or any immoral activity, because we are actually sure about or committed, or we cannot actually neglect the importance of tradition, values, norms, folkways in the life of that particular individual. Then coming towards the organized social control as a form of social control, and that is the process, that is the also the process which is actually related or regulated through the voluntary means or through the democratic ways. When any individual who is a part of the any illegal activity or criminal activity, then you will counsel him, or you will bring him into the mainstream by convincing him about the importance of values, about the importance of laws, about the importance of virtuous deeds, about the importance of those authorities who are actually trying to regulate him in a positive manner. So by discussing organized social control, that you are actually following a code of conduct, you are following a methodology, you are following a policy, so that you can bring individual into mainstream and to utilize his capabilities and abilities in a positive way. But if you are and why we are using this thing that democratic way, because you are actually generating a debate in front of him, so that he can pick a positive things from that particular debate, and you are not actually in the mode to impose as anything or any to increase the level of burden or increase the pressure on his personality. And whenever you do this thing, then you may become the part or you may become that platform which is creating the deviant behavior in the human personality. So organized social control can be discussed under the pattern of law and order. Then coming towards the organized social control, when we are discussing the organized, which is related to the law, which is related to a particular platform or democratic way, or the generating a debate in front of him. But if you are discussing the social control in unorganized social control, then definitely it is related to the tradition, fashion, culture, trends, and the people who are living in your surrounding, someone who is in your class, someone who is in your community, and he is highly associated with those things related to the positivity, related to the enjoyment, but he is using all those means which can lead towards the positivity. So we can say that that particular person is following the fashion, traditions, symbols, so that he can present himself in a positive mode or in a better picture in front of other community members. So these are actually related to day-to-day life. An individual who is the part of unorganized social control is trying to learn from other community members, trying to accept the influence of other community members, so that he can contribute in a better way. Then coming towards the spontaneous social control, and that spontaneous social control is not actually organized or unorganized. It is actually available in the instinct of individual. There are some people who do not consider the illegal activities as the part of healthy activity, or as a or he or they accept the illegal activities as a better thing. So they are exercising positivity or exercising or they are actually involved too much with the positive roles. So we can say that the spontaneous social control is related to the basic instinct, and it is a natural behavior when any individual who is the part of a specific society, but he is not accepting negative trends of the society, and he is trying to get positivity from rules and regulation, ideas, values, traditions, living styles, fashions, trends, belief system, religion, institution, and he is highly involved in those activities. So now these activities has become his habit, and he is unintentionally the part of the positivity. So coming towards another important thing in the context of forms of social control is the positive social control. In this type, social control actually plays an important role, and it depends upon reward. The policy of appreciation and the policy of admiring the positivity of other thing is a positive social control. When any individual who attain good marks, who is achieving the target, you are encouraging him, and you are remembering his habits in a positive way, and you are discussing this thing in front of the community members, then definitely the person will be motivated, and other community members will also find that person as a refined one, and they will also try to accept the influence of that particular person, and they consider the norms and values and regulatory bodies as a blessing for themselves, and they will also try to accept the admiration, to accept the positivity of that particular thing. So positive social control is a thing, or is the process which can be generated on the account of admiration, acceptance, or encouraging the other community members. So as a result of these steps, man tries to behave in the best possible manner in the society, so that he can contribute in a better way in the society, and he can also provide a better opportunity to other community members, so that they can learn from the society, and they can also get a proper shape, and they can also get a proper institutionalization and internalization in the development context. Then coming towards the negative social control is is a type of attitude when you are doing any activity for the sake of preventing yourself from the punishment, or you want to get escape from the insult. When you are discussing this concept, then definitely you are not giving importance to the task, you are not giving importance to the deeds, actions, or any activities, but you are actually focusing upon the punishment. So you are actually focusing upon the those elements which will be the cause of your negativity, which will be the cause of your decline, which will be the cause of your punishment. So negative social control is creating a concept of fear among the community member, frightness, and after passage of time, the negative social control can lead towards the different diseases, and negative social control can also create a vacuum between the individual behavior. So we must focus upon that. Whenever we are following the concept of social control, we must focus, or we must admire the concept of positivity among from the social control. Then coming towards the form of social control, and that is control through sanction. When you are discussing the concept of sanction, then definitely you are discussing the implementation of values on the society, inhabitants of the society, individuals of the state. Then definitely you are working that I will introduce some regulations, some code of conduct, some principles, so that we can govern the state structure, we can govern the society in a better and smooth way. So controlling through sanctions can create a deviant behavior. Why? Because you are actually imposing some policies, but before imposition of sanction, before imposition of some principles and ideas and code of conduct, you must focus upon one agenda, and that agenda must be related to the to the preaching, related to presenting the better and soft image of sanction. Because when you are not doing this thing, then definitely there are different community members living in the society, and they are different on the basis of their caste, creed, and their psychological elements. So when you are imposing the sanctions and you are controlling them through code of conduct, then you must educate them. You must propagate a better image of sanction, so that they can consider these sanction as a blessing. They consider these sanction as for the sake of motivation, dedication, and commitment. So when you are following this element, then definitely you are motivating them towards the imposed sanction and towards the development. So when these elements are involved, then definitely individuals won't resist in this context, and they will also accept the true sense of the sanctions. So that is the another important figure in the context of forms of social control. Then coming towards another important feature or type of the social control, and that is the control through education. Education is a light. Education is a platform where individuals try to present themselves in an intellectual way. They try to focus upon their abilities. They try to present their reading habit, and they are actually depending upon those ideas which are related to the learning process. And these ideas may be innovative, and these ideas also create a sense of responsibility. But when you are focusing upon the concept of education and you are using this concept for the sake of socialization, then you must focus upon this thing, that you are actually encouraging the community members to increase the level of reading. And you must focus upon this thing, that individuals who are associated with the concept of education, with the concept of learning, and they are increasing their learning abilities and capabilities, then definitely these community members are actually admiring the fact that those who focus upon the exact knowledge or research based knowledge are dominant. So through education is actually an organized pattern or a methodology where you are focusing upon scripted knowledge, you are providing them scripted information, and you are also explaining the importance of that scripted information. And through education and socialization, the child is taught to act according to the norms of the society. When you are not focusing upon the scripted knowledge, then definitely you won't be able to present the soft or positive image of the society in front of a child who is accepting the norms and values and learning the norms and values initially from the family. But whenever they would be the part of society, they would be the part of institution where they will learn through different manner. When they are idealizing a person who had been allocated the role of a teacher or professor, then we must focus on two different things. The first thing is that we must encourage our instructor. We must improve the knowledge and mental capabilities of our instructor. And whenever we groom the personality of instructor, then definitely he will try to produce a better community member and a better generation. So generation or community members who are depending upon the concept of education, then definitely we are sure about one thing, that these people are trying to change the narrative of the society. They are trying to change the mental approach of the community members, and they are also actually focusing upon the scripted knowledge, so that individual can learn, increase their knowledge, update their knowledge, and also they upgrade their information, so that whenever they are presenting themselves in front of other community members, they are more confident, they are more dedicated, committed. And we can also increase the level of devotion through the concept of education. So control through education is also important. So we can say that at the end we can conclude by saying that social control is an important element in the context of society, because the development of society is actually depending upon the social control. And when we are controlling the attitude of the society, then definitely we must focus upon the organized pattern. And these organized patterns are actually the evidence to the community members, so that they can focus upon these things, they can follow these footsteps. And whenever we are providing them opportunity to learn from the society, to learn from the tradition of the society, to learn from the values of the society, and we are then on the other hand, we are actually admiring the fact that these norms and values can play an important role in the nourishment of mental capabilities of individual. So social control can actually provide a direction, dimension to the community member, so that they can contribute in a better way. If they are trying to contribute to the society, or they are trying to eliminate the evil factor from the society, then definitely on the broader context, they are actually trying to eliminate the deviant behavior from the society. And the people who are considering, or actually who are trying to control the habits of individual, or trying to contribute in a positive manner, they must be trained, they must be equipped with new devices, they must be equipped with modern trends. And when they are admiring the modern trend, then definitely they will contribute in a better way. So this is the concept of social control, through which we can convince, or we can provide an opportunity to individual to work for the betterment and welfare of the state. So if you feel any confusion or difficulty in this topic, you can ask through WhatsApp, or any email, or by putting your comment in the Google Classroom. So till next lecture, take good care of yourself. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz.